Test mic. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Hey! I'm back once again. So, I want to apologize first of all because I haven't been able to upload a video this week because I was a bit busy. Ang dami naming ginagawa. Tapos kasi from the time I came here since February, naghihintay ako para magkaroon ng eligibility to work here in Ireland. So finally it came. Ayun, na-hire ako ng isang ospital. I won't say the hospital anymore, baka kidnapin niyo ako doon. Joke lang. I want to share my experience dun sa magiging journey ko. Disclaimer din, kasi since I'm a new nurse here, I'm not sure if all the adaptations in all the hospitals are the same. Like, what I'm going to experience, is it the same in another hospital na nagbibigay ng adaptation? I'm not sure. I'm just recording this as my experience para magkaroon yung mga tao ng idea how is adaptation going to work. Here in Ireland, when you get your decision letter, para siyang eligibility to work. Parang letter of eligibility to work as a nurse here. So, it's called decision letter. So, when you get that, pwede ka na mag-apply sa mga hospitals. And then, yung NMBI will be giving you two options to acquire for an NMBI PIN. So, we call it compensation measures. Merong two types yan. Yung isa is aptitude test, and yung isa is adaptation. So unfortunately, I will not be experiencing the aptitude test because I'm going to be taking adaptation because that's what my hospital is offering. So yun, gusto kong i-share sa inyo kung paano ba yung process ng adaptation dito. Kasi alam ko naman, like me, medyo kinakabahan kasi hindi mo alam yung mga mangyayari, kung ano yung mga dapat mong i-prepare para sa sarili mo. So, para sa kaalaman ng madlang people, just for information purposes, I would like to share with you what I'm going to go through with my adaptation in my anonymous hospital. Parang nagtitingin ako online. Parang wala akong makita masyado kung paano yung flow ng adaptation. So, yun, sinasabi kasi nila 6 to 12 weeks ang adaptation. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But anyway, that's why I'm recording the things that we're going to do. Although, malamang limited siya kasi hindi naman pwedeng ipakita lahat, 'di ba? Like, pag nasa clinical area ka na or whatever, di naman ako pwede mag-video doon. So, at least, mai-explain ko yung experience ko about this adaptation process. So, when I was hired, yun, lahat ng mga paperworks, ginawa ko na and stuff. Tapos, so, ang starting ng adaptation ko is September 20. It's today. A week before September 20, nag-email na yung clinical coordinator ng hospital about what are the things we should do before starting the adaptation process. So yun, nag-email sila about the e-learning, yung mga kailangan mong modules na tapusin, mga certificates mo na kailangan i-print, ipakita sa kanila. Tapos, meron ring BLS na gagawin kami, which is merong online na aansaran ka, tapos meron ding in-house workshop. So naka-book na kami within the week for the BLS, and then natapos ko na rin yung online na kailangan mga sagutan, ganon. Email din sila about sa uniform, like that. So makikita nyo yung uniform ko eventually. So malalaman nyo, malamang ko kung sino yung mga may alam dyan kung ano yung itsura ng uniform na susuotin ko, alam na kung saan ako natanggap. Anyway, yon. So, ang sabi nila, the first week is called induction week. It's more on probably orientation, I'm not sure. But here, like today, September 20, our first day, it was a virtual meeting with the, I think, learning department nila, ganon. Nag-virtual meeting kami, nag-orientation kami about security things dun sa hospital, like the ID, the parking, the, ano ba, mga kung saan mo pwede i-park yung bisikleta mo, ganyan. Kung magbabike ka, papunta doon, mga transportation modes, ganyan. Tapos, another thing that they discussed there is the infection control. Yung infection control, ayun, medyo mahaba-haba siya. So, I think it's part of the orientation din kasi yung infection control talaga. Tapos, meron din, natuwa ako kasi meron din nag-orient about psychological well-being ng mga staff sa hospital. Yun. And my favorite part, HR policies. Doon diniscuss yung mga like payroll, blah blah blah. Tapos ano pa ba yun? Yung mga benefits ng staff ng hospital. At alam mo naman ang mga Pilipino, pag may libre, pag may discount, go go go. From Tuesday to Friday, bali sa hospital na kami pupunta. Meet with the seniors. Magmi-meet na kami dun sa clinical coordinator namin. Siguro may onting mga orientation pa, ganyan, mga hospital tour, ganun. Tapos, I hope you stay tuned because day by day, I'm going to try to record things that we're doing para makita nyo at malaman nyo kung paano yung nangyayari sa adaptation. And as I've said, I'm not sure if it goes the same with other hospitals, but in our hospital, it's like this. In our hospital. Hard na eh. Yun nga lang, kailan maipasa yung adaptation. So, stay tuned, guys. So, hi, good morning. It's my second day today. So, I'll update you guys on what's gonna happen on the second day. So, update on the second day of the induction week. Ang start namin kanina is 8 a.m. And then, yung coordinator namin, dumiretso kami dun sa CLD department, CLD building. And then, we met with our coordinator. Tapos, binigyan niya kami ng timetable, one piece of paper kung nandun yung schedule namin for the whole week. And then, they also gave us yung mga booklets from NMBI. So, ito siya. Medyo madami-dami. Basahin daw namin kung may time kami. Para kung walang time, hindi na magbabasa. Pero syempre kailangan natin ito basahin kasi nandito lahat ng mga nursing standards na syempre kailangan natin malaman kasi ibang bansa to, di ba? Although, pare-pareho lang din naman, pero at least alam natin kung ano mga dapat nating ikilos dito. Hindi lang yung basta-basta kumikilos dyan. So yun, kahapon, yung orientation via Zoom. Tapos today, meet with the senior. Meet with the coordinator. Tomorrow, meron kaming session para sa electronic patient record. Kasi nagko-computer na sila. Lahat is online. Wala na atang paper dun sa hospital. Tapos, after that, sa isang araw, BLS. And then, meet with the coordinator again on Friday. So, today, ang nangyari is yun. Pumunta kami dun sa room kung saan nandun yung coordinator namin, tapos andun yung mga kasama namin. So, lahat ng adaptation candidates dun sa hospital na yun is 14. So, dahil madami kami, dinivide kami into 2 batches. So, first batch ako. 6 kami dun sa first batch. And then, ako yung nag-iisang Pilipino. Yung mga kasama ko, Indian. So, medyo, dugo-dugo yung ilang natin. Kasi nag-i-English lang. Tapos, so yun, nakalagay din dito sa timetable namin na meron kang bank appointment, ganyan-ganyan. In-explain din. Kasi since yung mga kasama ko ata is baguhan lang na nandito. So, they need to get the PPSN and the bank also. So, in fairness sila, ginawa na nila yung appointment for the bank, for us. Since meron akong account sa bank, no need for me to go there anymore. And I have my PPSN also. So, hindi ko na rin kailangan kumuha nun. So, yun, in-explain ng coordinator namin kung paano kumuha ng PPSN. Tas, yun nga na may appointment na sa bank. So, just to be there on time for the schedule. Tapos, ano pa ba? Yun, for the whole week, marami kaming gagawin na mga seminars, workshop, ganon, before kami mag-start for next week. Tas yun, may nakalagay din dito sa timetable namin that we have to go to our occupational health appointment. So, lahat yan mangyayari before mag-start yung clinical period namin. Yun. So, in fairness, lahat naman nakalagay na dito sa papers. After niya mag-orient about what to do within the week, nag-hospital tour kami. But we didn't like go everywhere in the hospital. Like, nagpunta lang kami dun sa ward kung nasan kami. Ako, since medical lang experience ko, tsaka sa medical talaga ako nagtrabaho. So, sa medical ward din ako naka-assign. So, nakita ko yung place. Syempre, hindi ako pwede mag-video. Nakita ko yung place. Yung CNM namin is, I think, Irish din. Mukhang mabait naman. So, yun. Lahat sila naka-mask, naka-uniform, ganun. So, sana maging mapayapa ang aking clinical trial. Clinical period next week. So, yun lang. Updates for day 2. So, ayan. I'm going to school again. Third day of induction week. And we're going to have our electronic patient record training. Seminar, whatever. So, ayan. Third day today. Update later. So, ayan, break time namin for 30 minutes. Naglakad-lakad ako at uminom ng juice. Medyo compared kasi since yung sa last job ko, naka-EPR na rin kami, EMR na rin kami. So, medyo hindi na ganun kahirap yung mga details dun sa pag-aaral nun sa computer para sa patient's records, yung electronic patient's records. And luckily, yung mga terms nila dito, same din dun sa previous work ko. So medyo hindi na ako masyado nahirapan makasabay dun sa tinuturo ng teacher namin. So yun. After break, we're going to continue it. And update later! So this is my third day. And, ay, daliri ko. This is my third day. And today is BLS day. 7:30 na dito. Ayaw pa akong paalisin nitong mamang kanoy. Hatid daw niya ako. Sana maipasa ko siya. Kasi ayoko ng mga pumping. I will try to take a video of the place with the mannequins and stuff. Tapos kahapon, nga pala kahapon hindi ako nakapag-update kahapon. Yun, EPR training namin. Hindi naman ako masyadong, medyo mahirap siyang intindihin, pero hindi ganun kahirap. Hindi ganun kahirap. Kasi yung system nila is similar sa system ng hospital na pinagtatrabahuhan ko before. So, onting push lang and onting turo from the teacher. So, yun. Nung nag-assessment naman kami, nakapasa ako. So, yun, tinuturo nila dun sa EPR kung paano mag-admit ng patient, mag-enter ng vital signs sa system, ganyan-ganyan. Mga bagay na hindi ka pwedeng mag-proceed ng walang doctor's order, which is very good compared dun sa system namin dun sa old hospital ko, sa previous hospital ko. So, that's it. So today, it's my BLS day. Let's go pump!